Hi friends, Prepared Suburbanite here. Obviously I've taken a break from producing YouTube content over the holidays. It's just kind of a personal preference. I don't like some of the things that YouTube is currently doing, but I do have a few things that I wanted to talk about and share with you all today. I'm going to be splitting some wood. We had a what I think was a Florida maple, but it's in the maple family anyway, but I think it's the Florida species of maple that fell down last spring and laid out alongside the creek down below for a few months, and I got it chopped up, chunked up, and brought the rounds up here so that I could split it. Today seems like a fairly good day to do that, so I'm going to be splitting some wood and talking some stuff. This Harbor Freight wood splitter has come in pretty handy for me. It's pretty much all I need around here. It's probably 3 years old, maybe 3.5. Picked it up using one of the 20% off Harbor Freight coupons. I think the asking price was $109. With the 20% off, I think I got it for about $90 plus tax. I used it for the first couple of seasons, and it performed very well. Last spring, I came out to chop some and split some wood, and the hydraulic, one of the seals on the hydraulics, when I pulled back on the handle, it just shot hydraulic fluid right straight up in the air. So I said, well, that's no darn good. Couldn't use it because I couldn't get the plunger to engage at all. So I just said, well, yeah, that's what you get for buying it from Harbor Freight. So when this fall rolled around and that big old maple tree fell out back last spring, cut it up, chunked it up here, and I was actually shopping for a big motorized 20-25 ton wood splitter, and I looked at this place and that place and all that, and they're $1,000, $1,200 even. So I thought, well, you know, for the little amount of wood that I'm dealing with, I'll either chop it by hand or see if I can get this thing to fix. So I took it in the shop a couple of weeks ago, took it all apart, and realized that it was leaking. And one of the seals around the engaging pumps was a little frayed. It looked to be leather or some sort of composite that looks like leather. So I pulled that out, cleaned it up, put it back in, and then realized, hey, you know, there's no fluid in here because it all had leaked out. So I looked for an alternative kind of a thing, because, you know, hydraulic fluid, yeah, you can get it, but you got to buy a 25-gallon drum of it or a 50-gallon drum of it, and, you know, I just need a couple of quarts to fill that thing up. So looking for an alternative, and guess what works? Automatic transmission fluid. First I thought brake fluid, but advised totally against using brake fluid. So ran to the auto parts store, picked up some automatic transmission fluid, pulled a little rubber bumper plug on the thing, and filled her up. It took about almost a quart, probably 3/4 of a quart. Plugged it back up, fired the thing up, and it works. There's no leaks, and we got the compression back. We got the throw of the piston taken care of, and it's been working great for the last couple of weeks. I've got about 3/4 of this wood pile chopped and split now, and just been working on these last little bits here to get her done, and that's kind of what I've been up to. Got some issues with YouTube, and I've got some bigger issues with Google. Apparently, there has been some false statements made to our Congress from the leaders in these organizations about what they do and do not do to influence the outcomes of queries to the Google platform and to the YouTube platform. I've suspected it right along. I don't have any reason to believe that they would want to do anything like that. Do you? No, they're pushing an agenda, and that agenda doesn't sit well with me. This most recent midterm election that brought in a whole host of new and very left-leaning congressmen into the House of Representatives is very, very troubling to me. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, whatever her name is extraordinarily dangerous by flaunting her socialist ideas all over the place. I just read a statistic recently from a poll that was taken of Democrats and folks that say that they lean Democrat, that 74% of them would vote for her for Congress, for president, if she was old enough. You got to be 35 to be president. She's only 29. The words that come out of her mouth are extraordinarily dangerous, but boy, they sound good. They really sound good. Oh yeah, let's transfer the wealth. Let's let people get free this and free that. Let's remove the incentive for millionaires to reinvest their money into their companies to create jobs. Let's remove the incentives from the billionaires to donate to worthy causes like Homes for Habitat and libraries and all that. Let's just do away with all that. You know, I was thinking there's some real issues going on in the media right now. There's been, I'm told, at least 4 major breaches of what I would consider ethics, journalistic ethics. The most recent being what happened to these kids from the Catholic high school in Washington, D.C., and the alleged supposed Vietnam War vet, and that little confrontation there when it first hit the airwaves. Oh my goodness, it sounded terrible. Sounded like a bunch of redneck kids wearing Make America Great Again hats were harassing the Native American population. Whoa, time out. That's not what happened. When the full videos finally surfaced a day or so later and people were able to take a look at the whole thing, they found out that no, these young boys were not the instigators of the trouble. It was the people on the other side that were instigating some of the issues that were going on there, and then this Indian with his drum seemed to really exacerbate the whole thing. He's been on CNN, he's been on MSNBC, and he blatantly lied about what he was doing, what had happened there. The video proves him wrong, but have you seen the media apologize? No. In fact, a couple of them already doubled down on it, saying, yeah, it's all Trump's fault. It's all the Make America Great Again hats. He's aspiring to the racial side, the racist side of America. It's all baloney. The other issues that I'm going to call journalistic malpractice. Yeah, it's gone beyond fake news. Fake news, yeah, okay, sometimes you exaggerate a little bit to make a point. I know I've done it. I know a lot of people that do it. That's, to me, that's fake news, when you exaggerate to make a point. What's going on now is what I consider journalistic malfeasance, journalistic malpractice. In any other profession, whether you're a lawyer, whether you're a CPA, whether you're a surveyor, you've got to take qualifying examinations, pass an exam statewide, nationwide. You've got to continue your education. I know that CPAs, for example, I'm not one, but I do know that my professional organization would sponsor the CPA ethics course for the CPAs that worked in the healthcare industry so that they could get the required hours of ethics training needed to keep their CPA licensure up to date. Does a journalist have to do that? No. He's protected by the First Amendment. Or at least he says he's protected by the First Amendment. Even hate speech is protected by the First Amendment. What they're engaging in is not hate speech. What they're engaging is journalistic malpractice. They are blatantly refusing to be objective, to research the details that go into a story so that they can actually report the truth. Yeah, it's all pretty bad. The BuzzFeed thing with the information about Cohen being told by Trump to lie to Congress and all that, it turned out that that was not true. That Mueller's organization, Mueller's team investigating the president even said that that's not true. So, but reporting it, oh man, they thought they had him. I think it was somebody on The View, whoever it was, basically admitted that they're jumping to all these conclusions, to all these straws that are dangling out there because they don't like Trump, they hate Trump, they want him out of office, so that anything that drops, good news, bad news, lies, truth, doesn't matter, they're going to jump on it and they're going to make a story out of it. That isn't what is protected by the First Amendment. The First Amendment protects freedom of the press, but I think that there's an assumption in that freedom that they report the truth and they report it objectively. I've about had it with media, and it doesn't matter if it's CNN, MSNBC, Fox News. I'm watching Fox News starting to shift one direction that it's never taken before, and I think that that's very unusual for Fox News to be doing that, but they are under different leadership right now, and a lot of their stalwart team has vacated the premises, we'll say. I don't know what the answer is. I do know that it affects me as a person who likes to be prepared in case there are emergencies, in case there are disasters, in case there is an event that would cause the S to hit the fan. Well, all this nonsense, all the stuff that's going on right now tells me that we are headed in the wrong direction and that we need, as preppers, to redouble our efforts to make sure that we've got ourselves and our families safe and secure and well stocked. It's my understanding that the federal government has come out with a new recommendation saying that you've got to have at least 6 months worth of food and water stored up, just in case there is a power outage or some kind of a grid outage that could potentially last for up to 6 months. That's a great recommendation. Now, the end of the world isn't going to be 6 months away. It's not going to be 12 years away. But we do have to be prepared, and we have to be prepared today for whatever may happen tomorrow. This is the Prepared Suburbanite reminding you to be prepared always, and I'll see you all in the next video.